Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into some fascinating notes and excerpts today, all centered around Chapter 10.
Feeling and enthusiasm.
That's the one, and let me tell you,
Oh, it's a good one.
it's going to unlock some secrets about how emotions
Yeah.
can make you a more powerful public speaker.
Really make you think differently.
Yeah, get ready for some serious aha moments.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This chapter throws out the whole idea that logic is the only thing that wins people over.
It does. It really challenges that assumption. Like, how often do you buy something purely because of logic?
Right.
I mean, really think about it.
Yeah, let's get personal for a second. Think about your last purchase. Something you didn't really need. Was it purely rational?
Oh, absolutely not.
Or
The emotion played a huge role.
Did that ad campaign get to you? Or a friend's review? Maybe?
Totally. It's more about how that product makes you feel.
Yes,
Like it'll make your life easier or cooler or even just, more stylish.
precisely. And this chapter uses fantastic story.
yeah.
About this guy selling hair tonic and copper plates.
Wait, copper plates?
Uh-huh, for hair loss.
No way!
And his claims were wild.
I bet.
But he had this enthusiasm. People were practically begging to buy his remedies.
See, it's that charismatic delivery. It makes even the most outlandish claims believable.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah. So what does that tell us about emotion and persuasion? Especially when we're connecting with an audience.
It tells us people are moved by how we make them feel. This chapter digs into that,
Okay.
highlighting that need for genuine enthusiasm, but not faking it.
Right.
It's about really getting into your topic, becoming one with it.
Like those actors who just completely embody their characters.
Exactly. Like Sarah Bernhardt, the legendary French actress.
Oh, yeah.
She would stay in character for hours, preparing for a role.
Wow.
Completely immersed. And Edwin Booth, the Shakespearean actor,
Oh, sure.
he wouldn't break character between acts.
That's some serious dedication.
It's commitment.
Yeah. And when a speaker is truly passionate, it shines through.
It does. Think about Dante writing the Divine Comedy
Okay.
while he was exiled, facing hardship, or John Bunyan weeping for joy while writing Pilgrim's Progress in prison.
Wow. You can really feel that passion in their words.
Centuries later.
Yeah. So it's not just performing. It's genuine emotion elevating the message itself.
It makes you wonder how that passion, that genuine belief, changes how a message is received. What's the difference between a speaker who's fully engaged and someone just going through the motions?
Oh, I've definitely felt that difference as an audience member.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. There are times where I'm completely captivated, hanging on every word. It's like they're sharing something truly special,
Yeah.
not just information.
That's a key takeaway here, I think. This chapter wants us to go beyond just informing.
Okay.
It's about inspiring them, moving them,
Yeah.
connecting on a deeper level.
So how do we do that? How do we harness the power of feeling to become better speakers?
The chapter talks about this idea of tapping into something bigger than ourselves.
Okay.
It calls it genuine sympathy for humanity.
Genuine sympathy for humanity. Okay, I'm intrigued. How does that make us better speakers?
Well, the chapter says the most powerful speeches, they come from a place of serving others. Making a positive impact.
That makes sense. When you can feel someone's genuine care,
Yeah.
it makes their message stronger.
Impactful. Right.
Yeah.
The chapter contrasts these technically brilliant speeches on home rule
Oh.
with a simple clerk story about growing up in Ulster.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a room full of politicians, all these polished arguments, facts, figures.
Yeah.
Impressive, sure.
Right.
But then this unassuming clerk, he speaks from the heart,
Okay.
sharing how his mother instilled in him this love for Ulster. He talks about childhood heroes, his voice trembling with conviction. He says, God is on our side.
Wow. You can practically feel the difference in those two approaches.
Oh, absolutely.
The clerk's story. It
Yeah.
just resonates on a much deeper level.
Because it's genuine. It's that raw emotion, that connection to something bigger than himself. It's powerful stuff. The chapter even quotes, the seal and sign of greatness is a desire to serve others. It's about tapping into something universal.
Think about the most inspiring speakers you've encountered. Did they have that quality? That connection to something bigger, something that resonated with your own values.
Yeah. It's worth considering, and it leads us to another vital point, sincerity.
Okay.
This chapter makes it clear faking it doesn't work.
Oh, we've all seen those speakers.
Oh, yeah.
Trying way too hard to seem passionate.
Totally.
It always feels forced and unnatural.
Exactly. Audiences can spot insincerity a mile away. The chapter says, nature is forever putting a premium on reality.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Manufactured emotions, they just fall flat.
They do.
So how do we find that balance? How do we tap into genuine feeling without seeming fake or over the top?
That's where things get really interesting. The chapter uses this analogy about a painter trying to capture a tree,
Okay.
to truly capture it. The painter has to, in a way, become the tree,
Interesting.
observe its movements, understand its structure, connect with its essence.
I love that analogy.
Right.
So it's not about mimicking emotions.
No.
It's about understanding the deeper meaning behind them.
The heart of it.
Yeah.
And that's what the chapter applies to public speaking.
Mm.
To truly connect with your audience, you need to enter into the heart of your message. Feel it deeply. Believe it wholeheartedly.
So we need to find that emotional core,
Yes.
that driving force behind the words.
Yes.
That's what gives the message its power.
Exactly. Think about it this way. Imagine you're giving a presentation
Okay.
about a new product. You truly believe in this product. You've researched it, you've used it, you're genuinely excited about its potential. That passion will come through.
And the audience will feel it.
They will.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all connects. But how do we find that emotional core? Where do we even begin?
Well, the chapter offers some practical advice.
Okay.
It suggests focusing on topics that genuinely resonate with you, things that ignite your passion and curiosity.
Makes sense. You can't expect to captivate an audience if you're not captivated yourself.
Exactly. Passion is contagious.
Yeah. But it's got to be more than just choosing a topic you like.
Yeah. You're right. It's about finding that emotional core
Okay.
of your message. Ask yourself, what is it about this subject that truly moves me? What do I want my audience to feel? Why should they care?
It's like unearthing the soul of the speech. It's what breathes life into the words.
Precisely. And once you've connected with that emotional core, the next step is allowing yourself to embrace it. Let go of your inhibitions. Stop holding back. Give yourself permission to express those feelings authentically.
I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. They're afraid of being too emotional, too vulnerable.
It's understandable. Our culture doesn't always encourage emotional expression, especially in professional settings.
Right.
But this chapter argues that those emotions, that's what makes a message memorable, impactful, and ultimately persuasive.
So it's a balancing act.
It is.
Being genuine and passionate without being over the top or inauthentic.
And there are ways to practice this, to get comfortable with it. Try practicing in a safe environment, maybe with friends or family. Experiment with expressing yourself more freely. Find what feels natural and authentic for you.
Creating a safe space to explore that emotional range. That's a great idea.
The chapter also stresses the importance of being present in the moment
Oh.
when you're speaking. Let go of distractions. Focus on connecting with your audience.
Being fully engaged, both with the message and the people receiving it. It's like mindfulness.
Exactly. And remember, be yourself. Don't try to imitate someone else's style. The most compelling speakers, they embrace their own unique voice and perspective.
So it's about finding that sweet spot between passion and authenticity, connecting with the core of your message, expressing it in a way that feels true to you. That's what resonates.
You got it. And the chapter highlights a perfect example of this: Wendell Phillips, the abolitionist orator.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him.
His speeches, they were fueled by his deep empathy for slaves.
Now that's someone I'd love to hear more about.
Imagine him standing before a crowd, his words filled with conviction, his voice carrying the weight of someone fighting for a just cause. His speeches, they weren't just intellectual exercises. They were outpourings of his soul, fueled by compassion and this burning desire for change.
You can practically feel the intensity of his conviction.
And that's the point. When our words come from genuine feeling, when they flow from deep conviction, they have the power to move hearts and minds, inspire action, create lasting change.
So it's not just about delivering information, it's about sparking a fire in your listeners' hearts.
That's a great way to put it. And it brings us to the million-dollar question. How do we as speakers cultivate that kind of emotion, that deep conviction that resonates with an audience?
That's what I want to know. It's one thing to understand the importance of feeling and enthusiasm, but how do we actually embody it when we speak? So we've talked about how important feeling and enthusiasm are, but how do we actually make that happen in our own speaking? What are the practical steps?
You know, this chapter gives some great advice, and it all comes down to this. Stop thinking of emotions as just performance tricks,
Okay.
and start seeing them as the key ingredients to powerful communication.
So it's not about faking it. It's
Yeah.
about tapping into something real.
Absolutely, something that's already there inside us. We are all emotional beings. And those emotions, they have a huge impact on how we communicate and how we connect with each other.
That's true.
It's about embracing that side of ourselves and letting it shape our speaking.
I love that. Giving ourselves permission to be fully human,
Yeah,
bringing our whole selves to the table.
exactly. And a great way to start doing that is by focusing on topics that you truly connect with.
Okay.
Subjects that spark your passion,
Yeah.
things that make you curious. You can't captivate an audience if you're not captivated yourself.
It's true. Enthusiasm is contagious.
It is. If you're excited about what you're talking about,
Mm.
chances are your audience will be too.
I've definitely felt that as a listener.
But choosing the right topic, that's only the first step.
Right.
You also need to find the emotional core of your message.
Okay.
Ask yourself, what is it about this topic that really moves me? What do I want my audience to feel when they hear me speak?
So figure out the why behind the what.
Yes, understand what's fueling your own passion, and then share that with the audience.
How do we do that?
Well, the chapter suggests asking yourself some key questions like, why does this topic matter? Why should the audience care? What's at stake here?
Okay.
If you can answer those questions, you'll find the emotional heart of your message, that driving force that will connect with your listeners.
It's like uncovering the soul of the speech. It's what makes the words come alive. It's not just information. It's something more.
And once you've found that emotional core, you need to be present in the moment
Mm.
when you're speaking. Let go of your worries and distractions and just focus on connecting with your audience.
So being fully engaged, not just with the message, but with the people you're speaking to.
Exactly. It's about being authentically present, both physically and emotionally. Think of it like practicing mindfulness,
Oh, yeah.
becoming more aware of your thoughts and feelings in the moment.
We're not hiding our emotions. We're acknowledging them, embracing them, and letting them shape our communication.
And as you get more comfortable with your own emotions, you can start to experiment with expressing them more freely.
Okay.
Use more evocative language. Share a personal story. Let your voice and body language reflect your passion.
It's about finding your own style, a way of expressing yourself that feels both authentic and impactful.
Absolutely. And remember, this is a journey, not a destination.
Mm.
It takes time and practice to develop the ability to connect with your emotions and use them effectively.
So be patient, and don't be afraid to try new things.
You'll find what works for you. And as you get more comfortable expressing yourself authentically, you'll find that your speaking becomes more engaging, more persuasive, and ultimately more fulfilling for both you and your audience.
There's one part of the chapter I found really interesting. It mentioned the power of the religious element in connecting with audiences.
Oh, that's a great point. The chapter argued that tapping into shared faith, that belief in something bigger than ourselves, can be really powerful.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if that's still true today.
Yeah,
And if so, how it works in a more secular context.
that's a great question to think about. Maybe it's about finding common ground, appealing to shared values,
Yeah.
or tapping into that sense of awe and wonder that we all feel when we think about the mysteries of life.
It's like tapping into the human spirit, that shared need for meaning and connection that unites us all.
Beautifully put. And that, I think, is what this whole deep dive has been about: feeling and enthusiasm. They're not about manipulation or putting on a show. They're about connecting with our own humanity, embracing our emotions, and sharing them authentically.
Taking that raw energy that makes us who we are and using it to fuel our communication, inspire others,
Yeah,
and make a
so-
real difference in the world.
Exactly. And that power is available to all of us. It's not something you're born with. It's something you can develop.
So if you're ready to take your speaking to the next level, to move beyond just informing your audience
Yeah.
and start truly inspiring them, this chapter is a great place to start.
Embrace your emotions, find your voice, and connect with your audience on a deeper level. The world wants to hear what you have to say.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive. We hope you found this exploration of feeling and enthusiasm in public speaking insightful and inspiring. Until next time, keep those passions burning.